quiet seaside town, an evil lain to rest centuries ago, has risen. An abandoned fortress deep in the swamp holds a secret that could save the village or destroy it. Now, a band of adventurers sets out to dig up the wounds of the past and bring the light of day to the roots of ruin. This is Tabletop Gold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tabletop Gold, your favorite, please, are we your favorite, please? Pathfinder 2nd Edition Actual Play Podcast. Hi, I'm Lars Casteen. I'm your host for today. Should I keep doing a slab of cod bit? Do you think that people like that? I don't know. I'm so on the fence about
Maybe
it.
now you're like a ceviche of cod or something,
ceviche.
right?
They call me Big Ceviche, Lars Casteen. Nice to see you, everybody. Joined today by Zoe Chernicoff.
Good ceviche time. Ole.
Ole. Ahmed Humphreys is here.
Good. Any seafood time.
Good any
You weren't
seafood
ready
time.
for the ceviche term.
I was
you were
super not
caught
ready.
flat-footed.
I was delighted by it though, but
Oh yeah,
definitely wrong-footed me.
delight and preparation, two different things, my man. David the Tin Man Chernicoff is here.
Good that time, Lars.
Good that time, and Robin Lange is here as well.
Hello, good your time.
Hi. Good. Hello. Thank you. And also hi. So if you're watching the video, you can see that I'm recording remotely. I'm in a different place. I'm floating in like a dark void. There's a light behind me that my mother asked me to turn off so she could watch TV in the other room. So there's sort of like a Slender Man kind of like breeding ground in the background. So keep an eye out for somebody to creep out and garrote me perhaps midway through this recording.
Great.
It sounds like if anyone, the only person you mentioned so far who's there with you is your mother.
Yes, that's right.
So
it could be her.
Is she going to? Okay.
She's suspect number one. She's the one wearing the Ghostface Killer mask at the end of this edition of Scream, I think.
And Lars, is it
Okay.
unusual for your mother to be there when you record the show?
It is.
Okay, just checking.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so-
it's never come up, but
No, it hasn't. So she's got motive and she's got opportunity, I guess is what you're saying. So listen, before we get into our game, we've got a tense situation in the game right now. There's a question I want to raise to the panel to get some thoughts about, and I'll give you my example first. I want to know if there's anything from the Y2K era, which we'll define as like 1998 to 2007-ish, just like that sort of aughts, late 90s sort of situation, that when you were a younger person, when this thing came out, you undervalued it. It's something that you didn't like that now, as you look back on it, you're like, wait a minute, that was actually really, really good. It could be anything. It could be movies, music, TV show, food, cultural phenomena, like whatever. The world's your oyster on this. I would like to argue that Vanessa Carlton's song "1,000 Miles,"
great song.
hated when it came out.
Really?
I hated that song.
Huh.
I was just like, look at how wimpy this thing is. I don't like this piano. Who is she? Who does she think she is? I go back and I look at that song now, and I'm ashamed of the man that I once was. It doesn't take
glad to hear
exclusively
that.
that song. No, I mean, I was wrong. I was so wrong. I love that song now. I think that song is so good now. I don't understand what was wrong with me. I don't know why I didn't get it, but I love it now.
One was definitely not supposed to like that song at the time, because I remember
Right.
feeling as though I did like the song, but I needed to conceal that fact.
You need to hide your light under a bushel.
Yes, but you know what, Lars? Like it, I appreciate that you've reflected on this in,
Thank you.
in the swell of the tides of time, and it takes a big ceviche to admit that he was wrong.
That's right. This big ceviche was at CVS, which I think does CVS stand for ceviche? I don't
Yes.
know. It does. I was at
Ceviches. It's plural.
Oh, okay. I was at the ceviches, and I heard that song come on, and I was like, "What was wrong with me? Like this thing rocks! Like I'm loving it." So
It's not a bad song.
I would argue that it's a good song personally, but that's maybe I've overcorrected. Does anybody else have anything like this? Anything from that time period that they disliked that now they have a greater fondness or appreciation for?
Well, thinking of music, there's another, if it comes up later, I'll add it in the other thing that came to mind. But being a somewhat alt wannabe girl in the late 90s, early 2000s, I hated Britney Spears.
Oh.
I thought she was just the epitome of everything that was wrong with our generation. And I was one of those girls who just hated Britney Spears.
Yeah.
And she's my freaking workout mix now. Her music is good.
Yeah.
It bops. I like it.
Also, big shout out to the Michelle Williams reading of the Britney audiobook.
Oh,
if you're looking to
listen to that.
back
Oh my
into
God.
Britney's, I think it came out a year and a half ago, and Michelle Williams reads it, and it's so good. It's
that
so good.
sounds
Just
amazing.
get in there.
It's wild.
Can't wait to listen to that.
Yeah, perfect.
But yeah,
perfect answer.
I don't feel bad for the way I felt, because I think I would have been a very different person if I had liked Britney at the time. But I'm glad that as I've gotten older, I've been able to appreciate things just for their value rather than the social status it gives me.
Yeah. I think that's a big part of it is if you dislike something because it was threatening to your identity, it's
and
there's a
identity
moment when you can
formation
walk around.
at the age that we all were is as much about what you aren't into, you're defining yourself in opposition to things that you see around you.
Totally.
It's sort of easier to do. It's easier to do at all times, but it's, I think, especially easier to do when you're, let's see, how old were we were in 1998? We were negative.
I wasn't born yet. I'm far too young
Same.
to really
Yeah.
be talking about any of these
This is
things.
a
I was ready for it,
theoretical
though.
Yeah.
matter.
Mine is sort of similar to that. Dave Matthews Band was very popular in high school.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I felt very strongly, no way, man. I'm into whatever I'm into. I'm not really sure what that is, but I'm definitely not into that.
Not
But it's
that.
not
Right,
that.
right. It's useful to say you're not into something.
But I think we're all mature enough to admit they're a talented group of performers. And
They're
they had
doing
some
what
really
they're
fun
doing,
songs.
and they've been doing it a long time, and they're committed to it.
Exactly.
That is the faintest backing up that I've ever
I
heard.
actually like the Dave Matthews. Well, I liked the Dave Matthews Band back in 1999. Probably. I mean, I'm not against them now, but they were more a part of my life then. So I feel I'm in my curve tilts the wrong way.
I feel like there's a wave for me with Dave. I definitely went through a phase of not liking them. Then I liked them again, and now I kind of make fun of Dave Matthews.
They're
again.
coming to Richmond this summer.
Of course they are.
Growing up in Charlottesville, Virginia, they were
Right.
the local band that
That's
made
it.
it big. So I was inundated with Dave Matthews Band from a very, 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 very young age.
Which I feel you would have to then make a pretty sharp choice. You're either going to be really into it or really out on it.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a guess, Lars, but
I made a coward's choice. I thought that the Under the Table and Dreaming record was fantastic. I loved that record when I was a kid, and then the Crash record came out, and I was like, no thank you. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. But who knows what that was based on. That's just, I'm not making an argument about either of those records now. It's just there was a turning point where I had to pick a side, and I guess I didn't have to, but I did because I was a young idiot. So
yeah.
I've got two aesthetic things which feel to me like they come from the same aesthetic well of Y2K era.
Wow,
which I think are maybe more of a bell curve than a I was out. But I was both an oh my gosh, what do you call them? Not iMacs, the little round bubbly Mac computers.
that's the iMac, yeah.
It was an iMac.
The
Okay.
original iMac, yeah.
I think mine was a teal green. And I also had a bright yellow second generation Volkswagen Beetle, the really bubbly ones.
Yeah.
Gosh, I loved those.
Which I feel
everything.
had when I was that era, loved. Then subsequently that aesthetic has gone very far away. But I'm back in. I'm here for the bubbly, colorful,
Bring back rainbow stuff.
Right.
Make things make capitalism colorful again.
Yeah, that's gonna fix it. Yeah, I mean, I think that is happening to some extent. I do think I don't have my finger on the pulse about this kind of stuff at all, but you hear people, people are always this thing is back, that thing is back, that old thing that you didn't realize that it was gone,
Bucket hat.
it's back now. So
That
I
gum
think
you
that we're
is
going to see more Yeah, like transparent plastic around exposed circuit boards and colorful bubbly things.
Did any of you guys have those VTech wireless phones? Where it was like that same kind of thing as the iMac, where it was translucent, colorful plastic, and they made them in like every color. Mine was green.
I'm ready for it. I would do it. Like, look at this boring ass phone. I mean, this is where we're descending into parody at this point. But like, this is what my phone looks like. It's just like a black.
I liked when they did the iPhone colors. That was like 10 years ago or something. Those were fun.
Well, bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring it all back.
Bring it all back. Please bring something back.
I had trouble thinking of a specific example, a specific answer to your question. All of the ones that y'all have said, I am just 100% full-throatedly on board with. Like, the first thing that came to mind was just how like generally pleasant everything was and how much I took that for granted, which I think was both a byproduct of being,
13 and
13, 14, 15, 16, and also a byproduct of it being the late 90s when things were generally humming along and there weren't really any big problems. And I didn't think about it much, and that was awfully nice. And I definitely took that for granted. So I don't know if that counts.
Not thinking about it, not being forced to confront it all the time.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I don't know whether it was. Well, anyway, I'm going to start saying a bunch of antisocial shit, and I'm trying to work on that.
Okay.
So I'll just leave it here.
Hey, I'm with you.
David, what about the iMac?
Bring back dial-up internet and no smartphones. Slow everything down again. Slow it all down.
Robin, I'm so glad you said that. That I had forgotten, but the first thing that flashed through my mind when Lars said that was, oh well, I didn't have a smartphone.
Yeah.
And
no,
I took for granted how nice it was to not be fucking jacked into the matrix all the time. Like, I definitely at some point am going to break up with my smartphone. I'm going to get one of those ones that has like a GPS in it and lets me text Zoe because I just remembered something that I want to tell her immediately, and that's it. And it's gonna be great. It may not be for another, I don't know, 40 years or something.
It also might be like 6 months. It's really hard to tell.
Yeah,
the way things are going.
Who knows if we'll still have phones in 6 months?
Yeah.
I guess the other thing I feel like I need to get off my chest is just that I played the Dave Matthews Band. I play music for the kids on our drive to school most mornings. Yeah. Because I realized at some point that if somebody doesn't introduce them to music,
right, they don't have radio.
You must teach the children.
Yeah, it's like not going to happen. And the drive is about 8 minutes if you hit all the lights, and it's about 98 minutes if you don't. But anyway, but it's like 2 to 3 songs, so I can just like pick an artist and play whatever are the 2 or 3 songs that you should be introduced to or whatever. And I'm just curious what they like and don't like. It's very interesting. But I played them in the Dave Matthews Band this morning. Like, it's a complete coincidence. I thought of it randomly. And yeah, I spent the whole time going, man, this music is so good. And these vocals are so fucking weird.
Yeah, he's such an interesting singer, for
Why
sure.
Does he
100%.
sing like that? Why is he?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know. I grew up at the same place. I don't know why he sings like that.
Yeah.
Nobody else here sings like that.
Yeah. And it's
like a hermit voice kind of thing.
Just imagining him being in a recording studio, and he's like, yeah, okay, let's get started. And then the music starts like, anyway.
Dave, we need to get in here. There's something wrong with the microphone. We need to take a look at the microphone. Just 1 second.
Leave me alone.
Oh, no, Dave, it's just your voice.
I think I said this another time, but Duncan Sheik's Barely Breathing is just
Barely
such
Breathing.
a fun song, man.
Armat always goes to bat for Barely Breathing.
Yo, the
every
whole
time.
album, there I said it. It's a good album.
Duncan Sheik.
Yeah, baby.
I mean,
Where
there's
have you
plenty
gone,
of
Duncan Sheik?
Y2K things that I loved and I still hold on to. But I think of one other thing, more movies wise.
Oh, yeah.
And people I know will. I feel like this is a hot take. Phantom Menace, not a bad movie.
It feels very different now than it used to. It feels like a very, very different movie than it did at the time. I'll say that.
We rewatched it during like winter break or maybe sometime in the last 5 months. And we got to the end of it and we're like, shit, that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And then we watched the other 2 and we were like, oh my God, this was actually the best out of all of them. So, Phantom Menace. better than we remember.
It's a great answer to that question. It's the 1,000 miles of movies, as far as I'm concerned.
And specifically, what's his face's performance, right? Didn't everybody like hate on that guy to the point where he like couldn't go out in
the
public?
Poor kid was
Jake
getting
Lloyd?
like death threats.
No, the other one, the guy who plays Anakin.
Ahmad Best?
Hayden
No, the
Who
kid.
plays Jar Jar?
The kid.
The other Anakin,
played
Hayden
Anakin?
Christensen.
Hayden Christensen. Hayden Christensen is the one I'm thinking of.
Well, that was the other two movies, and yes, I mean, there couldn't have been less chemistry between him and Natalie Portman unless they were in different movies.
Sure, but like I would put his performance in this category of like thought it was super whack at the time, and then on revisiting, I'm like, no, I see what he was doing.
Yeah.
And revisiting, it felt even worse, actually.
Really?
No, different. We'll give it 20 more years, Robin. Maybe it'll come around.
That's right.
Time.
We could come back around.
Okay,
We shouldn't give 20 more years.
What's the? Oh yeah, thank you, Robin. Thank you for picking up my transition, and then I'll pick up the other half. Robin, what you were talking about, it was our game. Let's do it.
We
Let's
could
play this
also
game.
keep talking about the 90s because they're so comfortable, and what's happening in the game right now is so uncomfortable.
That's true. That's fair to say.
Throwing that out there.
Stay in our happy place.
Yeah. Lights down, you up and down here.
What would you say?
Don't bite the mailman.
Yeah, they loved Ants Marching, and the next song that came on was The Space Between. And so like
Space between.
well, in like the beginning of that song is like bling 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 bling.
Oh, it doesn't do that.
Cannot quit me so.
It's a creepy start.
And my son literally said, "What is he singing?" He was like, "Why is he singing like that?"
No one knows.
It's a good
From the mouths
question.
of babes.
I was like, "I don't know, buddy."
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Your attempt to break into Belcora Haravex's treasure vault has hit a snag. You were drawn to this place, a fortified structure built into the side of a wall in the middle of a lake deep underground, to find secrets about Belcora's sinister lenses and how to use them to ultimately defeat her. Instead, you found a horrifying security system. First, a trap that exploded out of the vault's door to push you back into the water. Then, a construct, an automaton made from clay following rudimentary directions to keep intruders out, acting as a motion sensor. And finally, an undead knight, a skeletal figure burdened by a heavy set of black metal armor, apparently following directions from his mistress to defend this horrible place. Just now, this undead knight just struck down the first intruder, sending Mag to the floor, unconscious, and he is moments away from seeing if he'll be able to follow his mistress's orders and put the rest of you down with her. The situation that we're in right now is taking place across two rooms. There is like an antechamber where this fight was largely taking place, where this clay effigy in the shape of Belcora Haravex and this undead knight sort of came in and hit you like with a pincer attack, hitting you from different angles. The other place where that antechamber is like a 20-foot wide, 30-foot tall, featureless stone room designed to stop intruders, basically. The other area that we need to talk about as we're resuming this combat is this walkway that Isthin, Ao, and Trill are all standing on. This walkway is sort of like a slippery ledge leading out of that antechamber a short distance away from this boat that you brought here, a magically enchanted cutter. The way that things stand now is that Mag is unconscious by herself in that antechamber, and the rest of you are on that ledge trying to escape. Your attempt to get out of here was short-circuited by Mag getting knocked down, and it's putting us in a very like tenuous situation that we're gonna just have to see how things play out here. This undead knight, just want to mention that. I'll show you the art for him one more time. This undead knight is calling himself Calido. He's just struck Mag down. Mag is at dying 2 because she was brought down by a critical hit. That means that she's been moved one position above this undead knight on the initiative tracker. That means that she's got a full round before she has to make any death saving throws. She's got a full round before she has to take any of this persistent spirit damage that she is taking because of this clay effigy's magical, intruder stopping power. And does that set the scene? Are we ready to keep going? I've got 2 more actions from this guy. Is there anything that we need to mention, or are we good to go? What do you think?
I mean, we're all pretty beat up.
Yeah.
Trill's near death. She's healed Iston once. He's hurting a lot. We're breaking off a 5.
We are breaking off a 5.
Okay.
All new hero points and hero point cards.
Oh,
Good time for it.
Yeah, make sure that you reset your hero points there. I will say that
Can we all take an extra one just to...
Sure, knock yourself out.
I'm going to hit this button that says rest for the night. Is that cool?
We could
That's
use
how you
it.
reset your hero points. Yeah, do it, David. Do it.
That's how you do it.
I'm going to hit a bunch of times.
So one other thing I'll say is that, to me, if what you're interested in doing is trying to rescue Mag and get her back up, you are looking at sort of a race of, can we keep this party healthy enough to withstand the hits that it's going to take to get us all out of here? And we're just going to jump straight into it. This undead knight, has 2 more actions. And he mutters to himself, Calido will get the rest for mistress too. And he starts to stride across the room. And you hear, maybe even from out on the ledge, you hear clank, 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 as this heavy armor walks almost in slow motion, just ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. One move action is going to get him to the door, and you see this black armored figure step out of the door. Notice the 3 of you on the ledge. He turns and sees the ship. He takes another step forward, and he stops, starting to reach for something. That's it for his turn, as he steps past Mag's prone body, through this antechamber, past the clay effigy, and starts chasing the rest of you down.
So he knocked me out and then went after the others?
Yeah. Whatever the orders are from his mistress, from Belcora, it involves an unrelenting chasing down of intruders into this place.
Okay.
So perhaps he believes that he has time to deal with Mag later.
That might be immediately helpful to Mag's survival, or it might mean we're everybody's under the crosshairs now. We're going to be able to get away from this guy.
At the end of his turn, he's been affected by persistent vitality damage. I forget who put that on. It was either Ao or Iston. I apologize that I don't have that noted. He's going to take It was Ao. So he's taking 2d6 vitality damage. He rolled a 2 on both of those 6s, I believe. And he is... he rolled a 2 on that 6 and doubled. So he's going to take 4 points of that vitality damage. And I'm going to see if he saves out of that. If he gets a 15, he's no longer taking the persistent damage. He gets a 20 on his recovery check, and that damage clears.
Okie
Well then, I guess better 20 there than whatever else he's about to do.
Definitely.
So he's chasing after you. He steps forward. He takes a little bit of damage, and now the clay effigy is going. Mag, perhaps you hear the sound of a ka-chunk, 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 as this clay effigy moves across the room. Then you hear another ka-chunk as it returns to its original position, now sensing no motion in this room since Mag is knocked unconscious, and goes, and closes its eyes. If there was anybody in the room to see it, they would see the eyes of this clay effigy swing shut as it completes its portion of the security procedure. So that could have been worse. Based on this situation, we're at the top of round 4, and this clay effigy, because there's nobody moving in the room with it, returns to a sort of standby state. but you are being chased down by this Grave Knight that is pursuing you on the ledge of this treasure vault. Trill is about 20 feet away from the Grave Knight. She's barely hanging on to consciousness, but her friends are also pretty badly hurt. Mag is inside, unconscious. Mag will die if nobody is able to save her, if nobody is able to stop this situation from happening. What is Trill going to do?
Well, Trill's also nearly going to die, so I think now that I've got a fresh new batch of hero points, Trill's going to start with a hero point card.
Oh, boy. Okay, hold on 1 second. Here we go. Hero point card. Hero point
card. This hero point card is from Susan from Hawaii.
Oh.
Susan, our resident volcanologist.
Yes. Many interesting facts about volcanoes all over the Discord, thanks to Susan.
Yeah. So this card is called Oathbound. Oh, wait, no, it's not. I'm looking at the totally wrong one.
Yeah, what are you looking at?
No, my card is from Jeremy from Michigan.
Jeremy from Michigan. Lower on the volcano totem pole, but still a great listener. Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Don't worry, Susan, your card is good too. This Jeremy is just more appropriate for Trill at the moment. Jeremy's card is called Fungus Are Friends and Food. A card I can definitely get behind. The trigger is that your turn begins while you are missing any hit points. Trill's missing a lot of hit points. But thankfully, Trill, I guess, had a mushroom from one of the floors of Gauntlet. It dropped out of her sleeve and right into her hand. And so she decides to eat this mushroom as a free action. Because mushrooms are a delicious morsel, and as any sophisticated person knows this. When ingested, you regain 3d8 hit points, and your next attack within this turn gains a +4 to hit and bonus of half your level to damage.
Okay.
Feels good.
Okay. So let's roll those 3d8 hit points to see how much healing Trill is going to get. Thank you to Jeremy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you so much, Jeremy.
So that's 7 points of healing. Oh,
okay.
What a whip of a roll.
It's better than nothing, I guess. So Trill still's got some healing to do, though.
It doubled her hit points, actually. So, thanks.
Okay. Trill standing on 7 hit points, now up to 14.
Got a whole 14.
Mag got hit for 60 when she fell down.
Yeah, Trill's going to stay at the back here. But Trill is... So I'm trying to remember this armored undead fellow.
Yes.
What were the things we learned about him? I'm trying to remember.
Nobody's done any kind of recall knowledge about him at all.
No, but what about, attacks? Was he...
You've seen him use a great sword, and you've seen
our
him...
attacks on him. Did he respond to... I'm trying to remember if Trill...
Oh, no, you haven't seen any special weaknesses or resistances or anything like that.
Okay.
The clay effigy, we were learning some of that stuff about, but this guy, I don't think we've touched him much, and not in a revealing way.
Okay,
Yeah.
So Trill, where she is, and she's not strong, so she really can't go after Mag. She sees this guy come out, and she says, "Oh no, Mag's still in there." And I think what Trill's going to do is do a recall knowledge on this guy first.
Okay. Give me a religion check, please.
Okay, that could be worse.
Blind, please.
Yes.
Okay. Trill does not know much about this undead creature. It is clearly some sort of warrior. It is wearing a very menacing suit of armor, but that's all she knows.
Woof. Not a good start.
The other thing she knows is that her friends are very badly injured.
Yes.
That sounds like a crit success to me.
So
One of those things was true.
What would the other guy say?
I guess Istin's the strongest. Ao's fine, but I guess Trill's just gonna have to try and soothe Istin again.
Okay.
Because I don't really want to waste. I could have tried attacking him. I feel like needle darts would work on him, but Istin needs to actually get back into action. So let's go ahead and target Istin, who's
Okay.
not feeling good. Thanks,
Not great.
Forge.
Thank you. He is definitely going to be grateful for the sweet HP.
Go big or go dead. So let's go ahead and cast a 5th rank Soothe.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Thank you. Yes.
Trill bringing out the big guns. The gravity of the situation pushing Trill to use her most potent magic in this situation.
And that looks like it's 46 points of healing.
Hey, that's a
Huge.
lot.
46 points of healing. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Thank you.
Hero point.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's give a hero point to Trill here. I think that's reasonable. So, some clutch healing and Trill struggling to get any sense of what this creature might be means that it is now Isthin's turn. Isthin is 10 feet away from this knight that is marching steadily towards you, threatening to pull something out to attack you with. What will Isthin do?
So Isthin is going to sort of roll his shoulders, crack his neck, and be like, oh, I feel much better now. And he is going to try to trip this fellow.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Dice.
Okay.
Our
Natural
dice.
1 on the roll, so I'm going to have to use my hero point on re-rolling
Yeah,
that.
please don't have Istin trip now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to
He'd
fall.
fall
Yeah, no,
prone.
I don't want. Well,
Oh, God.
Something.
that's a 2, so technically that is an improvement.
It's definitely
It is an
improvement.
improvement because it is
Massive
not
improvement.
a critical failure.
You
You don't have to
Exactly.
spend the rest
Fall
of
over.
your turn standing up and getting smashed.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
good idea. It's just Isthin is having trouble getting his footing going on this slippery walkway.
Yeah.
So your staff flashes out, and Calido deftly moves his foot to the side. What will you do next?
Okay, so then Isthin is going to cast a spell. He's
Okay.
going to cast, hold up his palm. He's going to speak a couple of arcane words, and from his palm is going to blast out a cone of dizzying colors.
Ooh.
So we've got an incapacitation spell coming out,
Oh,
but it's rank 1. So you're not using a major resource for it.
right.
So I am going to try to make a will save as a swirling multitude of colors attempts to overwhelm my senses. This creature is not intelligent and rolls a 9 on the save, meeting your spell DC exactly,
Ugh.
rounding that up to a critical success. The creature is unaffected.
Oh, man. Okay, well, that was not what I should have done this turn, evidently. Shoot. Well, that was really disappointing.
It may be a little late to ask this, but what needs to happen in order for Mag to survive? Does someone need to heal me this turn?
Not this turn. So Mag is currently dying too. At the end of each of Mag's turns, she's going to make a death saving throw or recovery
Right.
save.
And I'll go up a level if I fail it.
Yeah.
You'll become dying more if you fail. You'll become dying more than that if you critically fail.
Right.
Basically, if you succeed, you'll go up a level, so you'll go from dying 2 to dying 1, and if you critically succeed, you'll go from dying 2
see.
to...
Got it. Okay. Which means we have some time for me to work through these paces because right now nobody is continuing to wallop me.
Yeah, Mag is in a much safer situation in some ways, even though she's unconscious and dying in the room across the hallway,
Yeah.
than the three of you are facing down this.
Right. So
this
y'all have
night.
to heal up and then try to dispatch this dude. If we're gonna have any. All right. Well.
Yes, somebody's
All right.
going to have to do some damage to this guy. Somebody's going to have to get him off guard.
I'm all done with rules questions. What happens when you die, Lars? Everybody else can go back to trying to save ourselves now.
I'll send you some text messages.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
So, at the end of Isthin's turn, Isthin is going to take 4 points of spirit damage from this persistent damage that the clay effigy put on him. Not a lot of damage, only 4 points, and here comes a recovery save. What'd you got?
15?
Okay, well that's lucky. That means Isthin is no longer taking that persistent damage as he shakes off this
Oh, that's huge.
this curse from the clay effigy. Ayo, you are seeing your teammates struggling to stop this guy from chasing after you. What are you going to do?
Get back!
Trill's attempt to learn anything about it was not a rousing success.
Correct.
No. I think we got to take this guy down, though. I'm going to swap to just damage next turn, I think. So.
You think that rather than my trying to run or push past him to get to Mag?
Definitely.
I think, and he's not off guard or anything, which is what you were saying before.
Yeah. I was trying to trip him for you, but.
I was gonna say she could turn into Belcora, and that might have some interesting effects. But I think this is not the moment for antics. This is the moment for action, friends. So instead, she points behind him and screams, "She is here! Mistress is here!" In an effort to distract him.
Okay. So we're doing a deception check versus his perception DC.
That's a 26.
26. His perception DC is higher than that. So he looks at you and he says, "Calido waits for mistress patiently. She is not here now."
And Ao decides she better do something to stop this guy, so is going to fire 2 quick arrows at him in hopes of doing something.
Okay, Chompers releases 2 quick arrows in this knight's direction.
Oh, it's a 1. It's a 1 on the die.
Oh, God.
A fumble card because you fumble hard.
Okay, did I bring my fumble card deck with me to Virginia? Let's see. I meant to. Did it happen?
Seems like
It did happen.
Oh.
Awesome.
Okay.
Props.
So let's see if this is going to be Ao hurting herself. Is it the ace of spades?
It's impossible to tell because
It's impossible to tell because of my
Yeah.
lighting. It is, in fact, the 3 of spades.
All right. Well,
Phew.
close, but safe. All right. And then missing wildly, she fires 1 more arrow.
Okay.
That's a 24 to hit.
24 to hit is not going to do it. It clangs
Man.
off of this heavy, heavy armor.
Rough.
This guy is tough to hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, dude. That whole round was like just
Trying.
just desperately unlucky.
It was pretty
Yeah.
rough.
Don't love it.
It's Mag's turn. Mag is unconscious in the next room. She is going to, at the end of her turn, I'm just reading the rules. You always have to make sure that you're getting this exactly right.
Yeah,
so at the
sure.
start of your turn, you're going to make a recovery check. That means you roll a d20. You're trying to beat...
Oops. Oh, sorry. Accident.
Okay, what did you roll?
I rolled a 19.
Okay. So you rolled a 19. That's definitely a success, okay? You're trying to roll a flat check with a DC equal to 10 plus your current dying value. Your current dying value is 2, right?
Yeah.
So that 19 beats 12. I believe that Mag has a feat that makes it so that that DC is a little bit lower. Mag
yeah.
has, it's either toughness
I think
or
it's-
Die Hard
I
that
think
it's
plays
Die
into
Die
this.
Hard, yeah.
Yeah.
So Die Hard means
Let me find it.
that maybe you don't have Die Hard.
Oh no, Die Hard
Yes, you
just
do.
raises
Okay.
raises the level to in order to
Okay.
be killed, I have to hit dying 5 instead of
So-
dying 4. That's Die Hard.
The one that reduces the DC of recovery checks by 1 is toughness.
Toughness.
Okay. So this was a DC 11. You rolled a 19, so that means you go to dying 1. However, at the end of your turn, you're taking persistent damage.
Mm-hmm.
So that persistent damage is, for sure, going to put you back down to dying 2.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And now you roll a flat check here to see if you can get a 15 and get rid of this persistent damage.
You said it's a DC 15?
Yeah.
Oh, 18.
Huge. So
That's
Mag,
helpful.
Back to dying 2, shakes off that persistent damage. This spirit energy from this effigy cursed everybody in the room, basically. That fades away. So Mag is now lying down, unconscious, at the foot of this 10-foot-tall statue of Belcora Haravex that the moment it detects any motion in this room will leap into action. That could have gone much worse. And speaking of going much worse, it is the turn of this knight, of this undead knight wearing this heavy armor. He sees what the situation is, sees that you have stopped running away from him, and doesn't reach for the thing that he was going to reach for, and he strides up to Istin.
Can I get a reactive strike in there?
Yes.
For that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
27 to hit.
That misses.
Ugh.
This knight steps forward, raises his great sword up into the air, and brings it down on Istin with a 31 to hit.
That hits.
Istin is going to take 20 points of damage. That was a very, very bad damage roll as he rolled 2d12 and a little bit extra. It's a combination of cold and slashing that Istin takes. And this knight says one more time, "Intruders will be stopped." And he brings this greatsword down on Istin one more time. That time it's a 34 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, no crits this round, which is fortuitous. 22 more points of cold damage as this thing is standing toe-to-toe with this knight. It's now the effigy's turn. Inside the antechamber, and the effigy blinks to itself. No, does nothing. The effigy just sits there, eyes closed, waiting. Have you ever seen the Never-Ending Story where like Atreyu is running past the Southern Oracle and the clay eyes of the Oracle are slowly going to open if it sees something that it's going to shoot a laser at to torch it to death?
I remember that part.
That's kind of what's happening right now. The eyes of Belcora Haravex, the clay eyes of Belcora Haravex are closed.
I think that part was the scariest part in Never-Ending Story to me.
Yeah, it's very tense. And it is now Trill's turn. It's the top of round 5. Okay. She's injured. Istin is injured. And you are looking for some kind of edge against this knight to get to Mag. Can you rescue her? Will Mag stabilize? We'll see.
So here's my question then. Do I Vitality Lash or do I heal Istin? I can do one or the other. I can't do both.
It seems like heal Istin then, right? Because
I mean, one or the other of us should strike, and one or the other of us should heal him. So if you don't,
maybe I'll try Vitality Lash because like nothing else is healing him, and he's undead.
What does more damage, that spell, or if AO is able to chompers him effectively?
Robin, you could also heal and make him off guard, which would then if I get damage, it's likely to be higher.
I have no way to make him off guard.
I think you do if you have Dirge of Doom, yeah.
Okay. So let's do that then. So we'll start with Dirge of Doom. That's what I was thinking at first, but then I was worried we shouldn't get rid of Courageous Anthem, but I guess it's better to debuff him than buff us.
Okay.
So yeah, so let's go ahead and Dirge of Doom.
Okay, so this is going to wipe out Trill's inspiring song and replace it with a fearful song that will make him afraid.
Yes.
Hopefully he's not afraid of fear effects.
And then for Trill's second and third actions.
He's not immune to them.
Dirge of Doom was just that. What was that?
He's not immune to the fear effects. He does respond to this song with a sense of fear.
Yeah.
Calido hates this song. Calido afraid of song. Why song scary to Calido?
You know, you're so introspective. I'm almost sorry I'm going to have to beat you to a second death.
What has Calido become?
Tears in the rain, buddy. I know.
So that's Trill's just going to go ahead and do another 5th rank soothe.
Okay.
Thank you, Trill.
More big time healing.
That is 51 points of healing,
Oh.
Iston.
Holy
Okay.
crow. Thank you.
Iston's back, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So
Hopefully.
Krill again creates a situation where Iston can get a little more breathing room. And now Iston, face to face with this grave knight, face to face with this undead knight. What is Iston going to do?
Hopefully make up for the lousy turn last round. He is going to recharge his spell strike, like do a quick breathing pattern, focus it in, and he is going to spell strike using ignition.
Okay, as you start to spell strike, the greatsword of this creature lashes out at you as he tries to strike you and to interrupt your attack.
So tired of attacks of opportunity.
That is a 29 to hit.
Reactive strike. whatever it's
Iston's
called.
AC is 29, so that goes to him, right?
Okay. Iston's going to take 19 points of damage, a combination of slashing and cold, but this spell strike is going to go off.
Excellent. And here we go.
You can't roll ones all the time, can you?
No.
Why would
find
you
out.
say that? Why would you say that?
32 to hit.
That 32 to hit just barely hits.
Oh
So you got to figure out a way to get this guy off guard. You got to figure out how to mess this guy up. How to. If you, like Iston, maybe in this moment gets the sense that if you go toe to toe with this creature, you're in bad luck. You got to fight dirty. You got to figure something out to wear him down faster than that. But that 32 hits.
All right. That is 11 bludgeoning damage and 1d6 persistent vitality damage, and
Which is huge. That vitality damage works, and it is back on him.
and 16 points of fire damage.
A 2, a 2, a 2, a 4, a 4, and a 2 on D6 is not a great damage roll, but
Yeah.
you get the sense that all of that is going through as this knight Kalida wheels back, throwing his arm back as this strike explodes in his face and fire rains down all throughout his suit of armor. It is now Ao's turn. Ao has just gotten a front row seat for a fireworks show that Iston has set off right on top of this knight. What is Ao going to do? Noting that this knight is now afraid and therefore unable to defend himself to Ao's trickiest attacks.
Just meaning he's off guard.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It's called poetry.
poetry. It's called the gift
Savoir
of
faire.
gab.
It keeps going. It keeps coming back up on itself. It's like
Walt Whitman said, I don't know what he said. I'm
Ceviche.
functionally illiterate. I don't know anything that dude said. So, and anyway, go ahead. It's your turn, Zoe.
I think things are feeling dire, and she's just gonna. You know what? She's gonna make one more attempt at recall knowledge, just to see if there's anything they can learn before she does.
Sure.
attacks.
That is a religion check, please. Blind.
Did you say medicine or diplomacy?
You can give me medicine. Diplomacy, I think, is a stretch, but if you want to give me medicine,
I'm just
you can
picking
give me
high
medicine.
numbers, so if you've got other ideas. Religion is don't tell me survival either, but other than that, you know.
He's a bush. You're going to roll survival.
Yeah. You're down with medicine?
I need to figure out something to give you for medicine, and the AC is going to be a little bit higher, but I'll let you roll medicine, sure.
All right. Probably go better than religion would have. That's plus
Okay.
1.
So I've got this medicine check from Ao. Ao knows that this creature is something called a grave knight, okay? What she knows about grave knight, she heard a story from a doctor long ago who tried to keep a man alive who was wasting away while inside a suit of beautiful armor. The armor killed him, and he rose again as an undead warrior, basically. Can you ask me a question of what sort of thing you'd like to know?
Any saves or kinds of damage that might do more rather than less to this grave knight?
Okay. I'll give you a save. His will save is low. He is a He's not the sharpest tool in the shed, as it were.
Okay.
And that means that AO has 2 more actions.
Yeah.
Would we say the song All-Star is something that we look back on with more esteem than we had for it at the time?
I would, but I loved that song at the time, and I love it now. It's like one of my favorite songs.
I enjoyed that album at the time, and now I can't stand it.
Okay. It takes all types.
Yeah.
Considering using command, but I feel like we just need to hurt it. Can I like make it jump in the water if I command it?
I don't think that that's one of the things that command can do, but maybe in a future turn, AO can. I think the things are like drop a weapon, lie down. Let's look it up. Let's read it together, shall we?
Yeah.
Command the target to approach you. Run away is what caught my.
Right. So if he runs away far enough, would he just run off the edge of the
Right.
pier?
There's just not that much running to be
or would he
done.
run back into the
Could
room?
he sort of just go off the end of the dock?
He'd probably run back.
Yeah,
run
I don't
back
think he
into
would
the
run
room.
off of the dock, but if he ran, it would trigger a reactive strike from Isthan.
Although lying down would probably trigger that
do
too,
the
and then
same,
he'd
yeah.
be prone, and also you would
Dropping a
get sneak
weapon.
attack damage on him.
Could be very good because his fists are not going to be a 2d12 like the long sword, great sword is.
I guess here's my thought. He's off guard to me now, so maybe I'd try to hit him and then next time try to command.
Do something else.
All right, so AO's just going for 2 more splicey arrows.
Okay. Unleashing chompers upon this knight.
That super high roll of 26. That gonna do it?
That misses.
All right, let's hero point that one.
Okay. Oh my god.
That a 1.
A 1 on the die, everybody. Skippy.
I spent a hero point for that too. That's what feels good about
Really rough.
Very bad. Let's go to the
Wow.
stack of spades. Is AO going to hurt herself? It is the 2 of
it.
spades.
Wow, we're just ticking down though. You know what that means for the next one?
That's what it means.
This is
There are currently 6 spades in this deck.
wow.
AO
the
has
odds,
1
as
more
I
attack.
understand
though.
it, are 50%.
That's right.
Okay, so AO's gonna attack again.
Okay.
Higher number, but with a map 5, so that's a 27. That gonna hit?
Just barely misses.
Ugh. Brutal.
Okay. It is now Mag's turn.
Yes.
At the beginning of Mag's turn, Mag needs to make a flat check against she is currently dying 2. This needs to be a flat check against a DC 11.
Oh no, 12. My dying value is still 2 because of the persistent damage.
But your toughness makes that one lower.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. 20.
20. That's a critical success, meaning that Mag goes from dying 2 to dying 0 and stabilizes. She's
Hell
at
yeah.
wounded 1. She is unconscious, but she is now stable, meaning that she does not need to make death saves during her turn, but she is still at 0 hit points. The game has a sort of GM fiat idea for when you get that 1 hit point back. It's basically like after about 10 minutes after the situation is resolved is when Mag is going to be awake again and with a hit point. But we're in a situation now where Mag is no longer at the risk of immediately dying, but she's still not able to join the fight here.
Although there's then a sort of silver lining to that, which is that she isn't waking up and immediately reawakening this clay effigy that she's in the room with. She's just like ecstatic still. So, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So Mag slumbers for a moment as it is now the turn of this grave knight. The grave knight is frightened 1 and is taking persistent damage. And I think in this situation, he reaches back with his greatsword and again swings it towards Isthan.
Yeah.
So here comes a strike with this greatsword.
Whiff, whiff, whiff.
That is a 32 to hit,
That'll hit.
meaning that Isthen's going to take another hit. This one, 32 points of damage. How many hit points does Isthen have now?
Isthen currently has 61.
Okay. Another greatsword strike. This one's a 19 on the die, which means that it is a 37 to hit. Is that a critical?
It is not a critical,
Okay.
but it does hit. Yeah.
Okay. Isthen's going to take some more damage. This time a much less punishing damage roll, an 18. And this knight is enough of a fighter. He says, Galado wants to hit the others. He runs back and starts reaching for something. He runs back on the ledge and starts reaching for something.
Reactive strike, please.
Oh, okay.
And thank
Yes,
you.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
$25 to hit.
No, not even close.
Can't buy a hit today. Jesus.
He runs
No.
back and starts reaching
Really
for
rough.
something, and the clay effigy sits perfectly still with its eyes closed one more time. The knight takes six more points of damage from this persistent damage. Let's just say maybe that's the only damage he's taken in this session, perhaps. I don't know. That's not a nice thing to say.
Okay, rude.
And I am going to roll a recovery check. I get a 19 out of 15, so that persistent damage is now gone. The clay effigy sits there. It is now round 6. You've got a little bit of a breathing room here. Trill, Isthen, and Ao are on the far side of this dock in a line, standing a short distance away from this knight that is getting ready to pull something out. What is Trill going to do on her turn? Her Dirge of Doom fades at the beginning of her turn. What is she going to do now?
She'll, I guess this time she'll lingering comp Dirge of Doom. Do I still have focus points for
I
that?
believe you do, yes.
Let's do that.
Okay.
So that lasts a bit longer.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that always shows up as a secret now.
It shows up as secret because it doesn't want you to know the DC that you're targeting for whatever reason. You succeeded.
Thank you.
So it's going to be 3 rounds of fear on this creature as long as you are within 30 feet of him. You are at exactly 30 feet of him right now.
Great. Okay. So I guess for her second 2 action, she's got to go ahead and heal Isthen again.
More healing. Presumably buying time for the party to do damage to this knight. Will that damage ever come?
This is going to be a level 4.
Rank 4?
That's 39 points of healing.
39 points of healing.
I will take it.
There you
Thank
go,
you.
Isthen.
Okay. It is
I
now...
feel like Trill's job has just become keep Isthen alive.
There's been a
good
lot
job,
of that lately.
Yeah.
It's good work if you can
You're
get
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It's always needed.
You're doing more than the rest of us in a way.
Yes.
Okay,
the
it's
moment
now
it's good
Isthen's
use
turn.
of time,
Isthen
yeah.
is soothed once more by Trill's healing magic, and he has an opportunity to act. What is he going to do?
Yeah, he is going to cast Ignition and try and blast him.
Okay. Fire cantrip.
Yes. 29 to hit.
Just barely misses.
Okay.
Just barely misses.
Then he's
I
going to
should
recharge his
cast
spell strike.
guidance.
That's his
Come
turn.
to think of it, just barely misses should probably be the episode name here.
It's
Relevant.
Ao's turn.
Yeah.
It's Ao's turn. This
well,
creature, this knight, is standing a short distance away.
and now it has nowhere to run away. I guess. But if it's prone, then there's no reactive strike because it's far away.
That's true.
I think damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's. It's not frightened anymore.
It is
It
frightened.
is.
It's
It is
frightened for
frightened.
3 more rounds.
Yep.
Let's mix it up and go with a TKP.
Okay.
You know? Let's try to slash this guy.
Okay.
No, you didn't like slashing? You're not into that?
He's wearing heavy ass armor.
Let's
be
try
piercing?
to bludgeon him.
Bludgeon or pierce?
Let's bludge.
Okay. Here we go. A telekinetic projectile. A rock flies out towards this creature.
All right. 18 on the die for a 33. That can
hits.
do it. Hey.
That hits.
Damage.
Clang! This metal
Clang.
armor reverberates around this cavern.
Damage will happen.
Wow, that was a lot of dice that came out. Does that
Really
do
good damage roll.
33 points of damage?
33 points of damage. And this creature is... This dent, bang, slams into the armor. And it pinwheels back. And there's like a... as he regains his composure. You get the sense that this creature is very nearly dead.
Okay. And I have one more action.
What are you pondering? What are you considering?
I was trying to see if there was any like wands or scrolls or something. Or like I could take my soothe wand out to help Istin and Troll could do something next time, but I don't know. Maybe I just fire an arrow and see if that hits. It seems unlikely that it's going to, is what I'm thinking.
It'll only be at map 5.
Let's do it. Things are going well. We're going to manifest some positive energy. And we're going to bludgeon this guy with an arrow. I think it was the word bludgeoning last time, so I'm going to say bludgeon a couple more times.
That's not how that works, but let's do it.
See what happens. All right, 12 on the die for 26.
The 12 on the die for 26, that's going to miss.
All right.
This arrow clang off of the armor.
Ao screams a bunch of obscenities in frustration, and they sound like...
Hey, Mag...
Yes,
in the antechamber is unconscious. She hears the sound of battle. It's not enough to wake her up. She has no strength to get up. It's now this knight's turn. This knight reaches out and pulls out a bow and arrow.
What?
Ooh.
Just had that hanging off the ledge?
Little ranged weapon.
Little ranged weapon, swapping it in for the greatsword. He looks at Ao and he says, "You will pay for that." Here comes a strike with this longbow. 15 on the die, a 33 to hit. Does that hit?
Yes, it does.
That's 21 points of damage, piercing and cold. And then
You're 21 points of damage.
Yes, I am.
That was a reactive strike, am I right? Hey, we're having fun.
He's setting up sort of like in a sniper position. If you decide to leave on the boat, if you try to get away, he's going to pick you off one by one by one. Here's another strike with that longbow, and he sends another arrow out towards Ao. That time it is a 20 to hit, a bad roll.
That one will not hit.
Okay. The clay effigy keeps its eyes closed in the antechamber, waiting for movement, and it is now Trill's turn. Is this going to be the round?
You know what?
That Mag
Trill's
is...
near death. He's near death. Let's do it. Let's see if we can do this.
Okay.
Trill's gonna vitality lash this son of a bitch.
Okay.
Let's see.
That's
if
another
this
good
lands.
episode title.
As this vitality magic extends from your loot, you hear the Grave Knight go, as like a miasma wafts off of him, trying to suppress your magical spell.
I know it's a fortitude save, which isn't great. But
That's not the issue. He has an aura called the sacrilegious aura that stops vitality magic from happening.
No.
Here's a counteract check. I roll a 17 on the die, counteracting you with 34. If that beats your...
Wait, that was Ao rolling that.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It's a 34 counteract check, which beats your spellcasting DC, correct?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Your spellcasting DC is, of course, a 27, so it is not a critical success, meaning that he will stop your... I'm just looking up the counteract rules just to make sure that I got it right. Bear with me, please. He will counteract this if failure. It's a success. It counteracts the target if the counteract rank is no more than one higher than whatever. He counteracts the spell. So the spell is lost.
Cool.
Poof.
I had high hopes.
Yeah.
It's it only brings damage. Trill's gonna, for her last action, cast guidance on Istin for an attack.
Cool. That's
Maybe
going to
let's-
stack
we
with the Dirge of Doom. A great play by Trill. Let's see if Istin can make good on it. Istin, you have this knight set up, shooting bows and arrows at you, taking his time. He's in no rush to take you down.
Hasten, will you bring that spell effect on you?
I already did. Thank you.
What is this thing going to do?
He recharged his spell strike. He's going to stride forward, get just outside the Grave Knight's reach, and he's going to spell strike with ignition.
And are you going to add that guidance to your attack roll?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
32 with the guidance to hit.
32 with guidance to hit. That hits, but like just barely.
Awesome.
Ow.
You
I
okay,
got too
Robin?
excited and hurt my hands.
Robin punching the equipment.
That's enthusiasm, and I love it. 17 points of bludgeoning damage, persistent vitality 1d6,
Okay.
and 17 points of fire damage.
Okay. That bludgeoning and the fire damage together is enough to destroy this Grave Knight. Where there was once a skeleton, it sort of fades away, and this suit of armor just clunk, 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 falls down onto the ground, glistening. The light from your magic sort of runs over this beautiful black metal armor, but the knight is gone. Iston has one more action.
Well, that was exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess what could be helpful.
So our next, we need to figure out now how to get Mag out of there.
Right. Yeah. I guess he'll prepare to aid someone, maybe.
Maybe
If
Ao.
only
I think-
any of us could do anything, that aid would be helpful.
Well, I think what we need to do is if we can get Trill to line of sight in the doorway, and she can soothe Mag if she still has a spell slot. I think we only need like 1 hit point to get her up and not unconscious anymore. And then I think we can just run away.
Yeah, well, Mag would need to, so Mag needs to get up and run, essentially.
Yeah, and I think there's some chance that when I get up, I get, conked out again.
Did she have a reactive strike?
You didn't see one.
We didn't
Okay.
see one. We don't know for sure, which is why I say there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I would imagine that like waking Mag up from outside the room is probably the thing to try.
Yeah.
At first, it could also work to like run in the room, draw the thing away from Mag and draw its attention, then wake Mag up, and then we all run away. But then someone's going to have to get clobbered by it a time or two.
Yeah, and we're all so
We're
damaged.
all pretty
already.
ragged at this point.
So Trill can, if we cycle through the round, Trill can cast from the door.
Okay. So let's see what happens. Iston sets up to aid. Do you have a specific person you're going to aid with a specific thing, or are you just sort of saying something?
I guess I was just sort of saying something because I don't know what
Can
I
he
could be
aid
aiding.
Trill on a soothe?
The Soothe doesn't have a check.
Yeah.
Soothe just works.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So let's say Ao, Iston just stands tight. It's now Ao's turn.
Yeah.
Is Ao going to do anything, or is Ao just going to sort of delay to see what happens with this healing operation?
Oh, does Ao want to pull out the soothe wand just in case?
Although I could delay, and then if I need it, pull it out and use it, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like we've got this plan of Trill's going to step forward and try to heal Mag and see what happens. So I think that if you have something that can support that, let's do it. Otherwise, let's keep moving.
Yeah.
And we feel like battle medicining Iston is not
Seems good.
I
All
think
right.
it's supportive. Yeah, go do that. I think that's great.
eager to get everyone ready for whatever on earth is next. Ao runs up to Iston and begins wrapping him in gauze. AKA.
Use a little bit more on that part.
So demanding. That doesn't feel good. No. Ow, ow, ow.
And Ao does 18 healing for Iston.
Okay, so 18 healing to Iston. Ao has one more action.
And then maybe Ao's gonna go another move action in so she's near Mag in case she can help there.
If you go in there, you'll wake up the.
Oh, all right. Ao takes out her
effigy.
soothe wand.
Okay, Ao takes out the wand. As you stand back, waiting for Trill to push forward and resolve the situation, Mag is asleep on the floor. The effigy has its eyes closed, waiting for any kind of motion to come through, and it is now Trill's turn. Will Trill be able to get up in there, get Mag up, and get Mag out before the effigy can act? Let's see. What is Trill going to do?
I'm coming, Mag! Trill runs up to the door and sees Mag on the floor and does her and immediately sends out her 4th rank soothe spell for 49 points of healing.
Dang, nice.
That's very convenient.
Mag's eyes snap open at the same time that the eyes of this stone effigy snap open as well. Mag is now not unconscious, but is prone. The stone effigy's eyes open and blindly look into the room as you hear the grinding of clay once more. It is now Isthin's turn. Isthin has just seen Trill about 5 feet in front of him, standing on this ledge, shooting this spell into this antechamber leading into this treasure vault. What is Isthin going to do?
I think Isthin's just going to delay, and he'll jump in if need be.
Isthin stands by, waiting to see what is going to happen next. It is now Ao's turn. What is Ao going to do?
Is there enough room for Mag to get out if we're all lined up by the door?
I'll push you into the water and then carry you to the boat.
It is now Ao's turn. Isthin stands by. What is Ao going to do?
I guess just stand by. I don't think there's much to do.
Okay.
I agree.
So Ao stands by as well. If this plan of getting Mag up and out does not work for some reason, you are going to be ready to react. So you're standing by, waiting to see if Mag is able to climb to her feet and escape without getting struck down.
And Trill's at the door, whispering, "Come on, Mag, fast, get up, come on!"
It is now Mag's turn. Mag is looking around the room, sees this clay creature right next to her, hears the sound of grinding clay against clay, scraping like two pottery, like two pots, like nails on a chalkboard going. What is Mag going to do?
Do I get the rage as a free action? Has a minute gone by?
It has not gone by.
Okay.
You're not rolling for initiative, and your rage is gone because you fell unconscious. So rage, Mag tries to summon her rage, doesn't have it. She's going to need to spend an action to rage.
Would raging help her get up and run?
Well, it gives me like +1 on a bunch of stuff, so I'm probably going to do it. But I think I'm immune to it, right?
No, that was
No?
that was a pre-remaster thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Bow chicka wow wow. I'll start by on the ground, raging again.
Okay.
I guess
Mag.
like Mag's eyes, snap open. She sees Trill in the door, beckoning to her. She remembers being struck down. What can I see from where I am?
You can see Trill standing in the door. Is just Trill? What does Trill's face look like in this situation, Robin?
Panicked.
Okay.
But I can't see which of the enemies are around me. How aware am I of who's there?
I think that from where you are, you can see that there's just a pile of armor sitting right by Trill. You maybe don't know how that happened, but you see that Trill is not worried about getting attacked by that pile of armor.
And I know that the only thing in the room with me is the clay effigy at this point.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So then I'll start by raging.
Okay.
Second action, I'll just stand up.
Okay. You stand up. The clay effigy does not strike out.
Oh, dope.
However, you now don't have enough movement to get out of the room.
Why not?
I mean, let's see what happens. Okay.
That's what I was concerned about.
Why? I only have. I'm 25 feet from the
You're
door.
raging. You have a movement speed of
Yeah,
1,000,000 feet per second. Of course you do. I'm sorry, David.
I can go at least 30.
Yeah, you're a fast
Yay,
lady.
rage.
You're a fast lady. There's another good episode title, huh?
So
Yes.
So what I want to do is run out the door. Trill is standing in the door. So does that mean that I have to do like an awesome thing where I run for the door and I'm like, oh, and I like jump through the air and tackle Trill out of the air and into the water with me in order
Yes,
to?
I think you have to do that.
Yeah.
I do that. I like sprint full speed, and the intention is that once I reach the door, I'm going to full on jump leap like speaking of the late 90s, the video game NFL Blitz, just like Supermaning through the door, catching Trill as I go. We will plunge into the water, and then I will drag Trill back to the surface because I have a swim. I can hold my breath forever, and I have a giant swim speed.
Okay, very good. As Mag passes out of the room, the clay effigy activates, and all of you standing near this door see this flash of bright light as it uses its cast out ability. Just a moment too late as Mag's legs disappear from the room. You are unscathed as its last bit of defensive energy clears. You have rescued Mag. You are splashed down in the water as Mag and Trill plunge into the murky depths of this cold lake. We will pick up from there next time.
Splashdown.
Oh, Lord.
Roots of Ruin is a Tabletop Gold production produced under the Paizo Incorporated fan content policy, using trademarks and copyrights owned by Paizo that are covered under that policy. The Roots of Ruin is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. All original characters and content in The Roots of Ruin are the property of Tabletop Gold, and all rights are reserved. We at Tabletop Gold would love to hear from you. Visit our website, tabletopgold.com, to learn more about us and our shows, join the Golden Horde to get access to more shows, pick up great merch, and connect to the best online community in all of podcasting. Thanks for listening.